Hey, what's going on, guys? So the full Mechanics Gundam Aerial is here. It's actually been out for quite a while. I wasn't planning to review it, but a lot of you guys have asked me to, and I now have a very specific reason to review it as well. We'll get into that in the next video, but for now I just want to do just a kind of standard unboxing and review here of the full Mechanics Aerial. In case any of you guys have any other further questions about it, or you were just curious about my perspective on the kit, we'll go ahead and talk about that in today's video. But for now, let's go ahead and start off here with this very cool box art, and then we'll pop it open and see what the kit's like. Let's go. And so yeah, for our box art here on the front, we got some very nice artwork there of the Gundam Aerial with the gun bits flying about and all that. Some very lovely lighting effects and weathering and markings even on there that you can see in the artwork. So very, very cool. It looks great. And if we go to the end of the box, you can get a sense of just how thick this box is. So even though this is the smaller box size, it is definitely quite deep. There's going to be a good amount of stuff inside. Over here on this side of the box, we can see some nice close-up shots and full shots here of the fully painted and decaled build there, front and back. Some more detail shots over here showing the shell unit, clear parts, some about the articulation of this. It does look really nicely articulated, and the bit on form there, once you break up the shield into all the gun bits and attach them onto the Gundam, it's going to look something like that. Around on the other side, we of course have the mention of the sold separately stand parts that you can get to display the gun bits separated out like that. We've got a really nice looking clear blue effect part in here. Some more shots just showing some of the posability and details of the kit. There you can see on an action base, which is also not included. And then right here we have an image of the unpainted state. So this is just snap built with the stickers attached on there, and that does look pretty nice. This is of course going to be molded in full color. And yeah, personally, another reason I should mention why I didn't build this kit before when it came out is that I expect that we're going to get a master grade of this inevitably, and it's probably going to be sooner than later, although we still haven't yet. I'm imagining that possibly maybe next year we might see a master grade, although who really knows. I was basically just basing my expectations off of what happened with the 1/100 scale Gundam Barbatos, and then we had the master grade come out just a couple years later, which was so much better than the 100 scale. Though in this case, from everything that I've seen about this kit, it does look to be very, very nice. Though if and when the master grade does come out, I'm sure it will be an improvement. This one does look to be really nice. Here's our painting guide. On the back there, we got some information here in Japanese and in English about the Gundam Aerial. We're here about Suletta Mercury, and then again some more images of the kit right there. On the inside, we've got our parts list and construction. So basically just our construction here for the kit. It's all going to be in black and white, and nice that it does give you which runners are going to be used for each step. So building the arms first, and it tells you which runners are going to be used. That always makes life a little bit more convenient, a little bit more streamlined for me, I find. So I like that. Not really too much else to see here on the inside of the manual. Shows you how to do the bit on form and everything. And then at the very end, it gives us the guide for the marking locations. So that all looks really good. Let's check out those sticker decals. And while I would definitely prefer that waterslide decals would be included instead of sticker decals, these are nice just because they're simple, easy for beginners. But if you do want waterslide decals, I know that they are available, so you can absolutely get those if you prefer. But some nice sticker decals here in white, gray, and red. All right, getting into the runners here for the kit, we do not have any polycaps, but here we do have our beam saber effect parts in clear blue. This is runner SB8, which is the more kind of rectangular shaped blades there, which I believe originally would be from the 00 kits. Then our A runner here is in 4 colors. You have a metallic green part down there for the eyes, yellow over here on the side, a nice blue color, and then that clear black for the shell unit parts. And then runners B, C1, and C2 are going to be all of our white parts here for the kit, which of course there is a fair amount. Runners C1 and C2 being doubled, except for these couple of parts right up there. And then runners D and E are in a slightly bluish, so like a dark navy gray kind of color. We've got 2 of runner D there. Runner C here we've got 1 of, so this is going to be for all of our joint and mechanical type parts, some parts for the weapons on there as well. And then runners F1 and F2 are going to be some red parts here for the kit. Runner F3 is a nice plated runner here, plated in this chrome red kind of color, which does look really nice. As you can see here on the back, you can see this is silver, so this was sprayed with silver first, and then a clear red over the top of that to get this really nice looking finish for some of those parts underneath the clear shell unit parts. Lastly then, runner G is going to be another clear blue runner here for our big beam effect part in clear blue. That looks really nice, and that's it for the runners. Let's go ahead and check out the kit. All right, and here is the kit all built up, and I can definitely see why it's gotten a lot of hype since its release, and even for months and months. Now it's almost, it's almost 2 years after since its release, or at least a year or something like that. It's been around for quite a while, and I can see why it's still a really popular kit. It's a really great kit. It's definitely right on that borderline of being sort of almost a master grade, basically like a master grade, depending on, it's not quite up to the standards of modern master grades, but it's definitely a lot better than a lot of the earlier master grade line, and honestly still quite comparable to some of the more recent, more simple master grade releases, like the Mobile Jin or the ZakuAurelius, for example. But we'll take a look at the accessories here first to start us off, and then we'll take a closer look at the kit. So first off, for our hand options, we do have swappable fingers, giving us the option for having closed fists on either side. Alternatively, weapon holding hands here. These are going to be for the beam saber handles for the left and the right side. And then for the right side, we've got a trigger finger hand for the rifle, and for the left side, an open set of fingers here to have an open expressive hand. Now, I do prefer just fixed pose swappable hands, but swappable fingers is the next best thing, I guess. For clipping on onto the underside of the hip section there, you actually have to remove this piece here at the center. And you'll notice you do have just a 3mm hardpoint if you preferred to use that. Alternatively, we do have a action base connection piece which will clip up into there, so you can choose whichever you might prefer. And then we've got our shield, which fortunately, unlike the HG, doesn't have any stickers, so all this color separation you see on here is all actual separate parts. Very nice. And this of course is going to break up into all of our different gun bits that can be mounted separately or mounted around onto the different points around on the Gundam. We'll see that in just a moment, but this is just going to plug straight onto the side of the arm. There's no movement in this actual connection piece. It's not on a ball joint or anything like that. It's just a fixed connection straight onto the arm, but the shield does look really quite nice. And if you do want to have the gun bits displayed out all separately, you do have to use these couple of included connection pieces for a couple of the parts of the gun bits in particular. It'd be for these dark gray kind of blade looking bits right there. And then we've got the beam rifle, which I think is probably just barely slightly more complex than the HG version. It has just a couple of pieces here. I think maybe just 3 in total, but nice design here for this one. You don't have any seam lines or anything on this, and that's definitely true on the main kit as well. Everywhere where you would have a seam line, it's either just made up as like a detail or panel line on there. So that's really nice, convenient, but simple construction here for this. You do have a connection piece for the beam rifle as well. This is going to plug into the side right there, and then we can plug this right around onto the hard point there on the back. The shield, of course, also can be plugged into there for storage when not in use if you want to use that. Then lastly, we just have our beam effects, this large beam effect which will slot into place here on the front of the beam rifle. That looks very cool. It's quite large. And then our 2 clear blue beam saber effect parts for the beam saber handles, which are stored up there on the top of the backpack. So let's talk a little bit more about the kit itself. Like I said, there are no stickers, so the green that you're seeing for the eyes, including the green for the back of the head around there, is in a nice metallic green, is an actual metallic green molded part there, as we saw on the runners, so no stickers around for that. You even have a color separated part there for the Vulcans and the top of the head, obviously the yellow in the cheeks, and then everything all looks really nice here. Underneath those clear black parts, although not super visible, when they catch the light, the metallic red coated parts underneath the clear black parts do look really nice, like I said, when they do catch the light. So just make sure that you display the kit in an area that does have some nice lighting to be able to show off those cool effects. I'm not really sure how you could amplify the effect of being able to see those parts any better than you could, because normally what you would do would be to paint some sort of silver or bright shiny paint on there, but they're already coated in like a very bright and shiny metallic red, so it's really just kind of a matter of the clear black parts being a little too dark maybe. But like I said too about the construction, we don't have any seam lines really anywhere where you might have seam lines. It's just a panel line or a detail. So in terms of the overall construction, going to be a very, very simple kit to paint. If you were maybe new to painting and wanted a kit to try out that you didn't have to worry too much about a bunch of modifications and seam line removal and everything like that beforehand, this would be a great one for beginners. Up underneath the feet, you can see you got some nice detail up underneath there as well. The articulation is all really nice as well. Everything that you would expect for like modern, nice articulation. You have some nice part separation here at the knee as well, that when you bend the knee, this center part is separated, and also that yellow part kind of moves and separates, so you can see it looks like one solid bit. But when you slide that yellow part kind of moves apart like that. It's pretty cool. So the engineering is all very nice and very beginner friendly if you want to paint the kit. And as we're getting into checking out some poses here with the kit, I'll just reiterate the point that I was saying at the start of the review, that it's very much almost a master grade. And so it kind of leaves you wondering, what could they possibly really improve on for the inevitable master grade whenever we ultimately get one, because I'm sure we will at some point, and I'm sure Bandai will wow us with the master grade. It's a very similar situation to what happened with the Barbatos. When the 100 scale non-grade Barbatos kit came out, it was pretty good. Everyone liked it. I mean, I don't think it was quite this nice, but it was a pretty nice kit overall. But then compared to the master grade, I mean, just blew it out of the water. So I can expect that we're going to see something similar in the case with the inevitable master grade Gundam Aerial. Until then, I think this is a really nice kit if you did want the Aerial in 1/100 scale. This is pretty close to being a master grade, and as I said, it's definitely comparable to some of the more simple master grades that we've seen in recent years, like the Jagan, like the Jin, like the ZakuAurelius, for example. These have been fairly recent releases in the master grade land, but definitely less complex than other releases. And then we've had full mechanics releases similar to this one, like the Raider, like the Calamity that I've talked about, those also being very much like almost a master grade, basically a master grade for all intents and purposes, other than the fact that it's missing certain gimmicks like an opening cockpit and the included pilot figure. Some of these gimmicks that we typically expect with master grade kits, we don't have with some of these full mechanics kits, but for all other intents and purposes, it's pretty much a master grade at the end of the day. And so this one also feels quite solid. That's one thing that people have had concerns about full mechanics kits and RE100 kits out in the past few years, where they are in 1/100 scale and they are nicely detailed, but they're just not as solid as master grades. This one does feel pretty solid, so it's pretty nice to pose, very comfortable. The articulation is really good. The kit, in terms of the details and proportions, I think looks really nice as well. So you have just a really great looking kit straight out of the box. Obviously doing a little bit of panel lining on it will definitely help to improve the look of it overall. But I gotta say, a really nice kit. I'm glad that I was finally able to take a look at it, and hope that you guys enjoyed taking a look at this kit with me here as well. But as I said before, I'm sure this is certainly not the first that you guys have seen of this kit. I'm sure you probably have seen it a lot by this point, and so I'm probably not telling you guys anything necessarily new about it. But I do have something interesting to do with this kit in an upcoming video, so definitely make sure to stay tuned for that very soon. For now, guys, if you want to check out this kit or anything else Gunpla related, you can check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store down in the video description right below the video here. Go ahead and check that out. And as always, thank you so much for all of your support, leaving a like, making sure that you're subscribed, leaving a comment. I really appreciate hearing from you guys, and thank you so much for all of your support. Until next time, hope you all have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.